Hi, hey, how are ya? I don't really know what I'm doing. Either way, I know that it's kind of late in the month of January. A lot of people that put up like low buy or no buy or buy all the things videos really do it at the end, or I mean at the beginning of the year. I'm just a little late. My January filming schedule is a little jammed packed. I think I need to take a moment and just breathe. Okay, so like I was saying, I want to do a low buy, a dedicated low buy, really stick to it this year. I think one of the reasons that I have been unsuccessful in the past when I have attempted things like this is that I don't ever have clear cut rules and what I expect of myself, which I have taken the time to write down some rules, and I've put them in like what I use to plan my life. That way I can like easily refer to them. So I just thought it would be fun to get on here, talk about them with you. I am going to include like low buy updates in with my empties videos, I think, as long as they do not run over like the 30-minute mark, because my empties videos tend to be on the longer side. So this might actually be like two separate things. I'm not quite sure yet. So in 2021, I did quite a lot of stress shopping in the last part of the year. I'm not even going to beat myself up about that. I also just kind of like, I don't know, throughout the year, I was pretty good. It was just like the tail end of the year for obvious reasons. And I really just, I don't want that. Like my collection has grown a lot, especially like the eyeshadow palette portion. So I just want to make sure that I kind of rein myself in for 2022 and keep myself in check, and also just enjoy the things that I have, because at the end of the day, how many different shades of blush are there really, you know? So let's get into this. If I am looking down at all, it is so that I can keep myself on track and make sure I am telling you the right thing that I want to accomplish this year with a 2022 low buy. If you are also doing a low buy and you have different like rules or like regulations or different, I guess that sounds weird to say, if you have different guidelines for yourself, I would love to hear them in the comments, or if you have like any tips, tricks, or advice, that would be much appreciated too. And without any further rambling, we are going to get into this. All right, so the most basic but like important rule of my no buy, or not a no buy, my low buy that I'm going to have is a 2 out, 1 in policy. And when I say that, I don't mean that I could use up like 2 foundations and then purchase a blush. I have to use up 2 foundations and then I can bring in 1 foundation. If I use up 2 foundations and then don't bring anything in and then use up 2 more foundations and at that point want to buy 2 new ones, then I could, because it still counts for the 2 out, 1 in. Like the 2 that I have moved out do not expire throughout the year, if that makes sense. So that is really going across the board for all of my well, not all, but most of my categories, and we'll get into some of the like more defining rules that I have made for myself, but that's really just the like broad overview like kind of rule that I have made. So along that same line, the 2 out, 1 in rule does not apply for makeup categories that I have where I have 4 items or less. Now I cannot exceed 4 items within those categories, because I'm really proud that those categories are 4 or less. But if I like, I don't know, if I only have 3, like, I know I have more than 3 eyeliners. You guys saw my makeup inventory already. But if I only had 3 eyeliners and then I wanted to purchase a 4th one without using up 2 other ones, then I could, is like my example. So I do have written down here for you my categories as of right now in January 2022 that are 4 or less items. So this rule of 2 out, 1 in would not apply to them. Are pressed powders and loose powders, which I don't have my eye on either pressed powders or loose powders to like buy and bring into my collection. Cream bronzer, which I only have my Milk Makeup bronzing stick, and I would really love to see that off like all the way through before I even entertain either like replacing that or finding a different cream bronzer. Brows, I just have the ABH Dip Brow Pomade, and so that's the only brow product that I use. I don't foresee myself like adding to that either. And then liquid lipstick and lash primer are the last 2. With liquid lipstick, again, I really don't, there's one that I want and we will get into that, but there's not any that I'm like out there eyeing that are like new I need right now. So as far as these categories go, even though as it sits here today, I could run right out and buy something for like each of these, I really don't have anything on my radar that I would even want to purchase. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. All right, so rule number 3 that I have for myself is I want to go the whole year of 2022 without purchasing any powder highlighter, blush, or bronzer. Again, you've already seen my makeup inventory, and while my powder highlighter category I am not like upset with, I'm really actually kind of proud with that one. The bronzer and the blush one I think is a little bit ridiculous for just like one person, and I would really like to focus in this year and try to finish up more instead of bringing more in, because like I said earlier in the video, how many different shades of blushes are there actually, especially how many different shades of bronzer do I need? Like I have 8 bronzers and I just think that's a little much. So yeah, I would like to go the whole year without buying any powder, blush, bronzer, or highlighter. All right, so hopefully this next part makes sense. My cream highlighter and cream blush category, I can buy more of those as long as it meets the 2 out 1 in rule. However, there is like an extra added rule to those 2 categories. So we'll first do the cream blushes. I have 2 of these blush sticks from ColourPop. One is in the shade Hen Party and one is in the shade Cool It. These are some of my oldest cream blushes. They're not like bad colors. They're not like, the wear time is really pretty on them. I don't mind them in that sense, like formula wise. I just do not like stick blushes. And what does Haley keep doing? She keeps like using these a little bit here and there, and then she'll buy more cream blushes. So I would really like to get these two. These 2 have to be worked out of my collection before I can buy another cream blush. And so I don't care if I use up like 2 other cream blushes before these are gone. Don't count. These have to go first before I can buy any cream blushes. So along like that same note, I do have 2 cream highlighter products here, and it's the same deal. It doesn't matter if I use up 2 other cream highlighters before these 2, can't bring another one in until these 2 are gone. So the first one is this CIATE London Dewy Stick, which I dropped on the floor right before filming this, and it's covered in dog hair. This is like, I don't know, it's like translucent. It's a really weird kind of product. It's not really got a good base. It just kind of gives your skin like a greasy look almost. I don't even know if it like shows up on camera, but it's right here in case my hand is like a little bit more glowy, which I know the ring light washes things out. But anyway, I don't like hate this, but I don't like this, but it's here in my collection. Like I should use it up kind of thing. And then the other liquid highlighter that has to be gone is my ABH Liquid Glow highlighter in the shade Perla. Now I absolutely love this. I've panned so many of the, I think this will be like my 2nd or 3rd one in this shade, but that's why I have a backup of this. I acquired one of the like duo packs where it was this and Oyster from TJ Maxx. So that is how I ended up with 2 of these. So I just don't want to, like, I don't want to have 2 of anything in my collection unless it's more like, oh, hey, that is literally on its last leg and it's a repurchase, like that kind of thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, these 2 things need to be gone. All right, so the only category that doesn't apply to the 2 out 1 in, but it has a very specific thing, this is the only way that it doesn't apply, are my liquid lipsticks. So this is the mini size of the Rare Beauty Lip Souffle in the shade Fearless. That's a pretty good color representation. It is just this really pretty kind of like, oh, plummy brown kind of shade. I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite like go-to shades, not even like in the cooler months, like in the spring, summer, whatever. I absolutely love this. So when I finish this off, I'm allowing myself to kind of like treat myself and buy the full size of this since I love it so much and it's such a staple like everyday shade for me. And I have went through and I have swatched out all my other like lip products that I have, and nothing gives me the same color as this. I do have things that are kind of in the same color family, like on the pinky brown side, but this is very much like a plummy purple brown and I just love it so much. So yeah, I'm going to allow myself to buy a full size once this one is worked out. But I don't think I'm anywhere like close to that, even though this is a mini and I've used it so much. The stopper is still in. I still get enough product coming out of it, but I just wanted to add that in there just in case. All right, so then the very last rule that I have for my 2022 low buy is that within this year, I can only purchase 4 eyeshadow palettes. That's all I'm allowing myself. Gifts count too. Gifts will count in the 2 out, 1 in. Like, I'll go into the negatives. And then gifts, like gifted eyeshadow palettes, will count as well for those 4. So my eyeshadow palette collection, that is my favorite part of my collection. I am not going to like be embarrassed by the amount of palettes that I have. Every palette that I have in my collection has been touched, has been used. Like, I do enjoy them, but I don't want it to explode in 2022 like it did in 2021. Like, I really want to rein myself in. So I think purchasing, like having that as my allowance will be, you know, a good way to rein that in, and it'll really make me sit down and think and be more thoughtful about my eyeshadow palette purchases. So that is it. I thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna go. It's really awkward here at the end. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.